I say, brothers, you should do 100. They say, no, I'm gonna do 50. But I'm still 100% a provider. How is that possible? A man is 100% provider. When he's unable to provide 100%, the woman picks up the slack.
Correct.
Now, the woman is not just picking up his slack, but doing hers. So she's picking up the slack of a man. That's 50%, right? Providing the woman. 50% nurturing. So she's 50% provider, 50% nurturer. Who picks up the slack of the woman? The child. Now, the child is 50% a child and 50% a nurturer. Now, the child is nurturing the siblings. Man, 50%. Woman, 100%. Child, 100%. So a man that's going 50% with his woman, it's like a man's not even there. Because if that man left, the woman would still be 50% provider, 50% nurturer. The child would still be 50% child, 50% nurturer. The man is the only one comfortable in that equation. And that's why he says, no, Yada, don't tell him the truth because I'm comfortable.
Sorry, y'all.
Can you go back to the little end part so I can read what popped up after that?
Everything he said, it was said. It's the same thing. It's just a glimpse of it's just a summary that somebody typed out. So how do you guys feel about that? That just made me
one part in the part that that was the word Marcus, was that it was saying if you do need help 50-50 on a like financial end, it was saying make sure that you're giving 100 on the other in the other aspects of like helping in the house, the emotional and that part.
They added that. That wasn't part of his message, huh?
Say what?
They added that extra stuff. That wasn't part of Buddy's message, right?
No, that's not what he said initially.
Yeah,
no.
that really wasn't what he said.
In the written part, that is kind of what it said.
Well, first off, I wouldn't trust anybody who have that many 50%, because the math ain't math, and this must be that Twitter math that everybody be talking about. There's no way you can have 50% from the family, from the kid, 50% from the wife, then another 50% from the man, then another 50% from the dog, then 35% from Esther down the street.
That dog got to do some work too. Let's just be clear.
Yeah.
They provide companionship because you ain't got
50% of the companionship.
Listen, somebody gotta be smiling in this house when I come home. You understand?
That's the number one reason for divorce now, right?
Look, dude get it cooked, and I want to like him, but the problem is overcompensation. That's all. It's overcompensation. He like 5'4", so he trying to even out the odds.
Is he 5'4"
Yeah, he's trying to even the odds out for things that only he can do.
From somebody tall.
You say what?
I said you call somebody short coming from somebody tall.
Look, I'd rather take a shorty,
a little skewed.
That ain't gonna stress me out.
He run a game because he like shit. I'm missing out on the women I want, so let me figure out how I could make it so I could get the women I want. I know, I got an idea. I got a mansion. They ain't got no mansion. I'm gonna use this mansion as a.
He's married.
I'm just saying. I don't know if he's married. Yeah, he is married. But he is doing that though. He's doing that to tap into the lane that he tried to tap into.
Well, he's the same guy that I remember we were playing that other video, and that guy who didn't have a whole lot of money, and he was getting on
talking to him.
Right.
They told him he wasn't a man.
Yeah.
He lucky dude didn't stand up and get mad. He lucky that was his homeboy.
I agree with what he's saying in terms of if you're a man and you're asking your woman to pull more weight than you are, I mean, that's the way that I interpreted what he was saying, then I don't think that that's okay at all. But I do believe that if a woman is supposed to be your helpmate or help you and you don't have it financially, I think it's okay, but you can't necessarily run on a mindset that you want her to help you in that aspect, but then you don't help in any other aspect. And I think sometimes that's what happened, is because we put so much emphasis on men providing the financial security and the physical aspect of it. So because we put so much emphasis on that, that's where all of the work and energy is directed with a man. But then on the other side, the women are feeling frustrated because they're not necessarily getting all the other needs met. So I do think it's important that you're trying on both sides, that you're trying to give 100% in all areas coming from both parties.
I don't think nobody got a problem with that. I think the problem would come in when he's trying to devalue whatever that man was bringing from a financial sense. And he also like asserted that the men would not help with any of the other things. And that's not true. Most men gonna help with the kids. We gonna give baths. We gonna fill in where we need to, because you understand we trying to get whatever need to be done within the household. I think it's a disingenuous argument made by him in order to try and assert itself into the new Derek Jackson role. And I ain't mad at him, because he got to be able to get more money to continue to talk like that. So do what you're gonna do, get your bread. But that, I'm not jacking that. I'm not holding that to be the gospel. I can't look up to somebody I can't look up to. That's a word. I'm just saying.
So I think this is like the hard part about like clips, because you don't have the context of the conversation. Was he talking about men he doesn't consider to be good men, who are only financially providing, and it's only that 50%, and they're still asking the woman to help? Or was he talking about men in general, right? Because if he's talking specifically to that category of men who's choosing not to help while still demanding 50-50, I think what he said is fair. I don't think that that's most men or all men by any stretch of the imagination. But if he's addressing them specifically, I think he's pretty spot on.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. It didn't really make a lot of sense to me. He said if you can't provide 100%, but you provide 50%, and then the lady has to pick up the other 50%, but she's only going to do 50% of what she did, and then you can't promote the health for the kids because she's only doing 50%. What the hell are you talking about, bro? Like that honestly didn't make any sense. What Mistaken said made a little sense to me, right? And I'm like, okay, maybe this what this guy is talking about in this video. But when I think of provide, I think of it from the context of providing for not necessarily the material stuff, but providing what you need in order for the house to function. And if a man isn't providing that, then no matter what's going on inside the house, is going to be some chaos. There are going to be some other things that fall through the crack. And if we're only talking about money, in which I think on the whole, men provide more than just money. If we're talking, from a financial piece of it, and the expectations for this man to provide 100% and he can't, then he's probably not with the right chick if that is the expectation. And then if he's expecting her to pick up the 50% he can't cover, and I'm trying to cover everybody's argument here because I don't know what the hell the guy was talking about. But if he's only covering 50% and the woman's picking up the other 50% and he's not doing anything else, then she's going to basically be in a masculine type frame to try to run the house. And then there's going to be even more complaints from the guy. It's just a chaotic home. So men, organize this is just my general message. Men, organize yourselves, get your life together before you try to bring somebody else into it. And that's just the way I'm going to address that ridiculous video. And for the record, HD, I'm the real AP.
Did anybody else want to